1850s. What's another name for it? I gave it to you yesterday. Compromise of 1850 kicks it off. Okay. What else could you call the 1850s? Don't just say 1850s when you write. Say it was the decade of crisis, right? So here are the presidents that are presiding over the decade of crisis. Got to have the story running in your head. Okay. My next bucket: Lincoln, Johnson, and Grant. What's going on during that time period? Don't open the test tomorrow and take it if you don't know. You've got to know. What's going on with these three presidents during this time period?
Civil War.
Civil War, Reconstruction. Very good. Okay. So, Civil War and Reconstruction. Those are your Civil War era presidents. Okay? Now, the next bunch of garbage here, I'm not even quite sure on the dates. I don't want to put incorrect information on the board, but it doesn't really matter. If we chunk this next group of presidents from Hayes all the way through Cleveland, we alluded to this a little bit yesterday, what happens after we stop talking about Reconstruction? In between Reconstruction and imperialism, what do we get? I referred to a shape yesterday. I can help you remember this. Those of you who were here. What was the triangle all about? Do you remember? Say it.
Wasn't it something along the lines of immigration?
Yep, stop there, good. Immigration. Yep, you got the next one. Say it louder. Say it louder.
Industrialization.
Good. Industrialization. And that leads to, of course, urbanization. People living in cities, right? Now, you've also got the populist movement, stuff going on the farms, things like that, but really, you're going to get probably a bulk of your questions from the Carnegie, Rockefeller, German, Irish, Italian immigrants coming into the country, industrialization. Kind of see how those go together? I don't know anything about those presidents. I still don't. But I know that this is what's going on during that time period. All right. Turn of the century comes. McKinley, 1900, or 1896, into Teddy Roosevelt. Here's my next bucket right here. McKinley, Roosevelt, Taft, Wilson. What's going on? Imperialism for sure. That gets down into this area here. What else? So we're expanding our borders. What movement? They're all referred to as the what? All these problems in cities, all these problems with our laws. New amendments passed. 16, direct election of senators. 17, 18, 19, women's voting rights. 1920. Say that again? Reform, good. The progressive movement, very good, right? These are your progressives. All right? So then I go Harding, Coolidge, Hoover. Look at the years that they're president. What's going on in the 1920s? Roaring 20s, okay? How about as presidents, what do we know them really for?
Depression.
Say that again?
Depression.
Depression's coming, okay? We know that with Hoover for sure, right? But these guys were all Republicans who all believed in a government philosophy of what? It's a French word.
Laissez-faire.
Laissez-faire. Hands off. Business booms. It's good for the economy. Republicans in presidency. The 20s, the roaring 20s. The jazz age, whatever you want to call it. So I go laissez-faire with these. Okay? FDR gets a whole category of his own. He was elected to 4 presidencies. World War II, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Pearl Harbor, etc. The man, right? That's his category. That's how we know him. All right. Truman, Ike, JFK, Johnson, Nixon. What do you put through those presidencies? Major thing going on. What do they all have to deal with during their presidency in one degree or the other? You got it. Those are your Cold Warriors. Right? In varying degrees, whether it's the dropping of the atomic bomb here, right? Or finally pulling us out of Vietnam, a proxy war of the Cold War, right? All that's happening during these presidency, right? Bay of Pigs invasion during Kennedy, all stuff that those presidents, Korean War under Truman, eventually Eisenhower takes over. These are your modern day presidents. I know the test is going to spend a little bit more attention on those. Of these, I would say the Reagan presidency, you'll probably get the most questions. And then I'm starting to see more stuff from like Bush and Clinton, but again, with a new test, I don't know what they're going to ask you. A lot of it probably has to do with conflict in the Middle East, varying degrees of economic situation in the United States, right? Boom times and then like economic depressions. So that's how I would chunk those. Think about them in periods, okay? What are the commonalities that you can write between all of them that would kind of pull together who those presidents are? Okay? Just a quick way to think about it and a quick way to review looking at periodization, okay? And I'm going to erase so those who came in the room don't steal all our good stuff. Questions?
I was just about to ask if
Yeah.
you could repeat some of that, but it's already gone.
Yeah, you just want to hang around for another 20 minutes?
Yes,
Is that okay?
not really, but I don't have a choice.
Okay, well, you do have a choice. You can walk out of the room.
Not if I need this information.
Say that again?
If I need this information.
Okay, I'll come to you separately, okay? All right, so let's wait a couple more minutes. Yeah, see ya. And then